Good day, class. Today we're going to talk about multiplication of decimals. So in multiplication, decimal doesn't need to make the decimal points align like we did in addition and subtraction of decimals. So here we will write only the given decimals. We will write like the way we write in multiplication of a whole numbers. So let's say, for example, we have 36.5 times 0.9. As you can see, the decimal points are not aligned because we don't need to do so. So let's start answer. Let's start solving 36.5 times 0.09. So first, of course, we have to multiply the first digit. 9 times 5. So we have 9 times 5 is 45. Carry 4. Then we have 6 times 9 is 54. Plus 4 is 58. Carry 5. Then we have 9 times 3 is 27. Plus 5 is 32. Now let's proceed to the next digit, which is 0. As you can see, as you know, that multiplying any number to 0, the product is always 0. So we have to automatically write 0, 0, 0. Also here, 0, 0, 0. And then, let's add all the initial product. Okay, so we have bring down 5, bring down 8, 2, 3, and 0. Okay, now the product, the decimal points of the product will depend on how many the total decimal place. Let's say, for example, in here, the 6.5, we have 1 decimal place. And then the multiplier number, we have 0 and 9, we have 2 decimal place. So if we count the total decimal place, we have 1, 2, 3. So our product must be in 3 decimal place. So starting here, we have 1, 2, 3. So our decimal point must be here. So we may erase 0 since there's no value for 0. So we have the product as 3.285 or 3 and 285 thousandths. Okay, let's proceed to the next example. Okay, so we have 0.641 or 641 thousandths times 17 hundredths. Okay, let's start multiplying. So 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 4 is 28. Carry 2. Carry 2. Okay, we have 7 times 6 is 42. Plus 2 is 44. So carry 4. And we have 7 times 0 is 0. Plus 4 is 4. And then now let's proceed to the next digit. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 6 is 6. And 1 times 0 is 0. Now let's add the initial product. Okay, let's bring down 7. 8 plus 1 is 9. 4 plus 4 is 8. And 6 plus 4 is 10. Carry 1. So 1 plus 0 is 1. This time, let's count the total decimal places. So we have the first given decimal place, we have 1, 2, 3. The second number or decimal place, we have 1, 2. So overall, or the total number of decimal place is 5. So our answer or our product must be in 5 decimal place. We have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we are expecting that our decimal points must be here. Okay, so we have to add 0. So our answer is 0.10897 or 10,897 10,000s. So this is our product. Okay, let's take another example. So again, our answer is 10,897 hundred thousands. Okay. Okay, let's take another example. Okay, so let's say we have 3.145 or 3 and 145 thousands times 2.3 or 2 and 3/10. Okay, as like we did before, let's multiply the first digit. 5 times 3 is 15, carry 1. So 4 times 3 is 12 plus 1 is 13, carry 1. 3 times 1 is 1 plus 3 plus 1 is 4. Then we have 3 times 3 is 9. Let's proceed to the next digit. So 2 times 5 we have 10, carry 1. 2 times 4 is 8 plus 1 is 9. And we have 2 times 1 is 2. Lastly, we have 2 times 3 is 6. Now let's add our initial product. So we have to bring down 5. Bring down 3 plus 0 is 3. 4 plus 9 is 13. Carry 1. So we have 9 plus 2 is 11. Plus 1 is 12. Carry 1. And we have 1 plus 6 is 7. Now let's count the total number of decimal places in the first decimal number. So you have 1, 2, 3. On the second decimal place, decimal number, 1. So the total decimal places we have is 4. So we have to count 1, 2, 3, 4. And we will place our decimal points here. So we have 7.2335 or 7 and 2,335 thousands or 10,000s. So this is our product. Okay, so take note, in multiplying decimal places, we don't need to make the decimal points align, and we count the total number of decimal place of the two given decimal number to write the final decimal number of the final product. Now let's proceed to multiplying decimal by 10, 100, 1000. So to multiply decimal by 10, 100, and 1000, we just move the decimal points to the right. So we don't need a long solution. We just follow this rule. We just move the decimal points to the right. Let's take, for example, we have 0.234 times 10 or 234,000. So we will move the decimal points to the right by one's place only. Why? Because 10 has only 1 0. So we will move the decimal points to the right by one place, since again 10 has only 1 0. So we will write 2.34. So mean to say, the number of 0 will determine on how many times are we going to move the decimal points. Okay, let's take another example. 0.234, the same given decimal, but we will multiply this time by 100. So this time 100 has 2 zeros, meaning to say we're going to move the decimal points twice or 2 times. So starting here, 1, 2. So our decimal point is between 3 and 4. So we have the product 23 and 4 tenths, or 23.4. Okay, let me circle first our answer. Okay, now let's have the final example. 0.234 times 1000, or 234 thousandths times 1000. Okay, again, in 1000 we have 1, 2, 3 zeros. Means to say we're going to move the decimal points to the right thrice, or 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So our answer must be 234. See, we don't need a long solution. We just need to follow the rules by just moving the decimal points to the right if we are multiplying a decimal by 10, 100, or 1000. Now, what if we're going to multiply decimals by 0.1, 0.01, and 0.001? Well, the rule is the opposite of the first rule of the multiplying decimals. So here, to multiply the decimal points by 0.01, 0.001, we have to move the decimal points to the left. So before, if we are multiplying decimal by 100, 10, 1000, we move the decimal points to the right. But in this case, we are multiplying decimal by 0.1, 0.01, and 0.001. We have to move the decimal points to the left in an opposite direction. So let's say, for example, 48 and 2 tenths, or 48.2 times 01. Okay, here 0.1 has only one decimal place. Mean to say 48.2, the decimal points of it will move to the left by once only, by one's place. So here, so the decimal points is between 4 and 8. Of course, we have to copy the remaining number. So we have 4 and 82 hundredths, or 4.82. Now, what if we multiply 48.2, or 48 and 2 tenths times 0.01? Here, again, we have 1, 2 decimal places. So, means to say we're going to move the decimal points to the left twice, or 2 times to the left. 1, 2. So, decimal point is here, meaning we have to add 0. So, our answer is 0.482. 0.482, or 482,000. Okay, let's take the final example. 48.2, or 48 and 2 tenths times 0.001, or 1000. Okay, here we have 1, 2, 3 decimal places. So means to say we're going to move the decimal points to the left thrice, or 3 times. Okay, let's have 1, 2, and 3, meaning we have to add 0 here, and the decimal point is here, and another 0. Again, 1, 2, 3. So our answer is 0.0482, or we have 482 10,000. So this is our final product. See, we don't need a long solution again. So again, in multiplying a decimals by 0.1, 0.01, and 0.001, we only have to move the decimal points to the left. Okay, and that's all for today. I hope you learned about multiplication of decimals. Bye!